desperation now. I mean, I don't think we have seen a more desperate week.
Grim news. I don't know how much grim news you can throw at Prince Andrew, but of course it just almost keeps on coming.
The narrative that Meghan Markle sold to the world when she and Prince Harry dramatically exited the British monarchy was one of absolute, uncompromised independence. She promised a $1 billion Hollywood takeover, built on a foundation of high-minded philanthropy and elite, A-list exclusivity. We were told that her sheer star power would make her the most powerful female founder on the planet, easily eclipsing the ancient, restrictive financial models of the royal family. But as the dust settles in 2026, the global public is watching that glittering billionaire illusion completely shatter in real time. Instead of building a lasting legacy, top financial analysts and business experts are officially pulling back the curtain on the Sussex empire, and what they are exposing has reportedly sent the Montecito mansion into an absolute state of panic, according to leading financial experts who are now publicly dissecting the Sussex brand. Meghan doesn't have a cohesive, long-term business strategy.
Heat that's out there at the moment. And then I thought, here we are complaining, and poor old Meghan and Harry.
I spoke to Paula Frolic on this, and she said, no, it's probably just part of the chaos. What do you think?
What she has, they argue, is a desperate addiction to quick cash schemes and reactive pivots. Every time a venture fails to secure the historic billion-dollar valuation she believes she deserves, she abandons ship and immediately frantically launches a new, half-baked product just to secure a fresh headline and a quick payout. Watch how these independent financial analysts and business YouTubers completely tear into this frantic business model on their channels, exposing exactly how Meghan's constant scrambling is rapidly destroying whatever credibility she has left with serious investors. The strategy of the true global elite, the very billionaires Meghan desperately wants to emulate, is entirely based on patience, meticulous execution, and brand protection. Think of the stealth wealth of the Olsons the Row, or the ironclad consistency of Rihanna's Fenty empire.
Family well, who didn't fall out with the real royals. She needed long-term
To posting what sources told RadarOnline.com was a carefully curated glimpse inside her Montecito wardrobe.
These brands took years of careful, quiet planning before they were unleashed. But Meghan Markle's approach is the exact, chaotic opposite. Listen to how this independent podcast host and market analyst breaks down the sheer desperation of Meghan's financial playbook, pointing out that true billionaires do not announce a luxury lifestyle brand only to spend a year failing to sell a single product, then abruptly change the name entirely. When American Riviera Orchard launched, it was supposed to be the Montecito equivalent of Gwyneth Paltrow's Goop, but when the trademark issues hit and the influencer jam rollout completely fizzled out without generating any real retail revenue, what did Meghan do? She didn't put her head down and fix the supply chain. Instead, she executed a rapid, sloppy rebrand to As Ever, hoping a new name would magically fix a fundamentally broken business model.
Probably does make more sense than this lifestyle brand, which just isn't working. And the problem is, P. Dinah, what we're now seeing.
If you remember, not long ago, William,
Financial experts are looking at this behavior and issuing a brutal, mathematical reality check. This is not how you build an empire. This is how you run a boutique out of a California garage. The experts are exposing the terrifying reality that without the endless, deep pockets of the British monarchy to fund her lifestyle, Meghan is essentially throwing spaghetti at the wall to see what sticks, rapidly burning through investor goodwill in a desperate attempt to find a quick, easy cash grab to keep the lights on in Montecito. The true driver behind this relentless cycle of business pivots isn't creative ambition. It's sheer, cold mathematical necessity. Financial experts are pointing out that the lifestyle Harry and Meghan chose to maintain in Montecito comes with an absolutely staggering annual burn rate. Between the multi-million-dollar mortgage on their massive estate, 24-hour global private security teams, legal fees, and a relentless, top-tier crisis PR machine, their overhead is estimated to be in the millions every single year.
Meghan clearly admires that image and seems interested in recreating elements of that accessibility for a modern audience through fashion.
Wrong legally, but the perception is your life's a little bit, a bit murky.
When you are burning through cash at that speed without a steady institutional income, you don't have the luxury of waiting 5 years for a business to become profitable. You need money, and you need it right now. This intense financial pressure is exactly why experts are calling her ventures reactionary. Instead of acting like a calculated, patient CEO, Meghan is behaving like an influencer trapped in a high-stakes hustle. Every time a major contract ends or a payout stalls, the public witnesses a frantic scramble to monetize whatever is left of the Sussex name. We saw it with the rush to sign low-tier commercial partnerships, the sudden interest in paid speaking circuits, and the awkward attempts to sell everyday kitchen staples under a royal brand.
Yeah, no, I'm not surprised at all. Meghan does this because, yes, she can't do it on her own.
Meghan Markle's latest monetization bid looks set to be her most sick stunt yet.
Watch how these independent financial commentators and business YouTubers expose the brutal reality of this cash crunch, breaking down on their channels exactly how the massive Montecito overhead is forcing Meghan into these embarrassing, short-term contract grabs. Serious venture capitalists and Wall Street analysts are looking at this pattern and pulling their money out of the room. In the business world, consistency is everything. If a founder shifts from a high-end media production deal to a podcast, then to a luxury jam brand, and then to a completely separate wellness line, all within a short window, it signals deep internal instability. It tells the market that the brand is bleeding cash and desperately looking for an
The whole brand has always been a complete disaster because she doesn't know how to sell a lifestyle brand. I mean,
So distasteful about this woman. She just does things that are so not the way things are done.
upfront advance rather than long-term equity growth. Listen to how this independent market expert analyzes the situation on their podcast, directly pointing out that Meghan has completely lost the trust of serious Hollywood, investors who now see her as a high-risk liability rather than a bankable asset. By constantly hunting for the next quick paycheck, Meghan has fundamentally devalued the one thing that made her valuable to American corporations, her exclusivity. True luxury brands survive on scarcity, but the Sussex brand has become incredibly overexposed and erratic. They traded the bulletproof financial security of the British Crown for the cutthroat, unforgiving world of private equity, and as the bills continue to pile up in California,
renewing vows in the media, and now I'm wondering if the issue isn't renewing them, it's finding enough people willing to attend.
Now, you may see them like a post that Meghan has done. For example, I saw Nicole Lamont like something from Meghan, but
the financial world is realizing that the Montecito empire is built entirely on a foundation of shifting sand. The most glaring, undeniable proof of this addiction to the quick hustle didn't just come from anonymous financial analysts. It came straight from the absolute top of the entertainment industry. When Spotify officially axed their massive $20 million deal, it wasn't just a canceled contract. It was an unprecedented public humiliation. A top Spotify executive literally took to his own podcast to explicitly label Harry and Meghan grifters. In the financial and business world, a grifter is exactly what these market experts are warning about.
I think you're right there, but he has got opportunities. He's been offered small houses and big houses. He's offered...
Poor thing, Meghan Markle, life really does humble you.
Someone who overpromises, vastly underdelivers, and takes the massive upfront cash without putting in the actual grinding work to build a sustainable product. Watch how these independent financial podcasters and entertainment reporters react to this specific moment, exposing on their channels how the grifter label permanently shattered Meghan's illusion of being a top-tier, hard-working media mogul, instead of taking a step back to meticulously rebuild her credibility after such a brutal industry takedown. Meghan's immediate reaction perfectly proved the financial experts right. She instantly scrambled and signed a new, vastly scaled-down podcast distribution deal with Lemonada Media. To the untrained eye, Her PR team tried to spin it as an exciting new comeback. But to Wall Street and Hollywood analysts, it was a glaringly obvious, desperate downgrade. She traded a global, exclusive powerhouse platform for a much smaller network simply to secure a fast press release and a quick infusion of cash to keep her relevance alive. Listen to how this independent business analyst completely dismantles this pivot on their news channel, pointing out that true industry titans do not celebrate dropping from the Premier League down to the...
And then she posted this video, and it was very effective, P. Dinah, because it showed how these people do love celebrating their friends' moments, usually.
Minor leagues just to get a fast paycheck. This relentless cycle of downgrading is the ultimate red flag for any serious investor. The experts are highlighting a terrifying pattern for the Sussex brand. Meghan is burning through her premium Hollywood connections and top-tier corporate goodwill at record speed. She is no longer walking into boardrooms dictating terms to the industry giants. Instead, she is simply taking whatever lower-tier, fast-cash deals are handed to her because the Montecito burn rate waits for absolutely no one. The billion-dollar, philanthropic media empire she confidently promised the world upon leaving the UK has completely vanished, entirely replaced by a desperate, exhausting hustle just to stay financially afloat. The most devastating consequence of this relentless pursuit of fast money is what financial experts are calling the total devaluation of their only real asset, the royal title. When Harry and Meghan first arrived in California, the title of Duke and Duchess carried an immense, almost untouchable mystique. It was the ultimate golden ticket. But instead of protecting that prestige, experts argue that Meghan has aggressively commodified it, slapping the Royal Association on everything from tell-all interviews and reality-style documentaries to, most bafflingly,
to invoke the memory of the late Princess Diana. And I think if this does go forward, Dan, yeah, I was going through Nicole Avant's social media and I saw that she had attended some events and there were all these A-listers there.
jars of strawberry jam and dog biscuits. You cannot maintain the illusion of elite, unapproachable royal majesty when you are constantly hustling for brand deals in the exact same commercial arena as reality television stars. Watch how these independent brand strategists and financial YouTubers break down this exact phenomenon on their channels, explaining how slapping a royal title on a quick cash grab instantly destroys the long-term luxury value of the brand. To Wall Street analysts, this is the ultimate cardinal sin of brand management. The British monarchy has survived for over 1,000 years precisely because it understands the absolute power of scarcity. The actual working royals do not do paid sponsorships. They do not sell their personal family drama to the highest bidder for a streaming deal. But Meghan Markle took that ancient, priceless brand equity and immediately traded it in for fast, liquid cash. She exhausted the market with constant complaints, tell-all books, and 6-part Netflix series, cashing the massive checks up front, but entirely bankrupting her long-term public goodwill in the process. Now that the world knows every single intimate detail of their royal grievances, there is simply nothing left to sell. Listen to how this independent market analyst completely tears into this strategy on their financial podcast, pointing out that once you sell your absolute biggest secrets for a quick payout, you are left with zero leverage and a deeply fatigued audience that is no longer willing to buy whatever you pivot to next.
Worry about Meghan.
Such a good point, actually. And that's an important philosophy. When you're talking about the chaos, P. Dinah, of the week.
Any tears, are they, for a bloke that could live either in Dubai, Saint-Tropez, Western Australia, the Seychelles, the Caribbean?
The financial experts are laying it all out with mathematical precision. The quick cash schemes worked perfectly for the first couple of years when the shock value of their royal exit was still fresh and the mystery was intact. But shock value is not a sustainable business model. The well has completely run dry, and the global market has brutally corrected the Sussex valuation. By constantly prioritizing the fast paycheck over long-term brand integrity, Meghan has officially turned the once priceless Sussex name into just another desperate, highly recognizable, but financially hollow Hollywood commodity. we have officially reached the final chapter of this financial takedown. And the ultimate conclusion from market experts is as devastating as it is undeniable.
The problem is, P. Diner, he doesn't know it's going to get so much worse. Or as you say, maybe he does. Maybe he does have some idea, but we both know it is.
I think he's starting to see it. I don't think he quite understands how bad.
The frantic, short-term strategy that Meghan Markle deployed to maintain her billionaire lifestyle in California has completely run out of road. In the ruthless world of high finance and global branding, you can only run a shell game for so long before the market demands to see the actual substance. And as we sit here in 2026, the data is in, the contracts have dried up, and the Sussex illusion has officially collapsed. The absolute tragedy of Meghan's financial playbook is that she traded a lifetime of guaranteed, historic, and bulletproof royal security for the volatile, unforgiving trenches of the Hollywood attention economy. When you are a working member of the British royal family, your financial foundation is entirely immune to market crashes, streaming algorithms, or public fatigue. Your value is anchored in history. But the moment Meghan decided to commodify that legacy for a series of quick upfront payouts, she entered a race against time, a race she has officially lost. Watch how these independent financial experts and entertainment commentators summarize this brutal endgame on their podcasts.
SpongeBob type of body, like really small, skinny legs and like a upper, bigger top part.
I think their sons are keen on girls and not doing it. But what the problem with his is now he's pretending, or he's saying he doesn't know anything about any of it.
Yeah.
And the police have taken,
exposing the exact moment the global market permanently corrected the Sussex valuation and left them completely isolated. What these experts are highlighting is the total exhaustion of the Sussex brand. You cannot launch a new business every 6 months out of panic and expect serious institutions to keep handing over multi-million-dollar advances. The world has watched Meghan pivot from a production deal to an archive podcast, from a luxury jam line to an emergency lifestyle rebrand. And the verdict from Wall Street is unanimous. This is a brand in a state of terminal freefall. The premium corporations that once lined up at her door have completely moved on to reliable, drama-free A-list talent who actually deliver on their contracts. Listen to how this independent market analyst breaks down the final reality check for Montecito on their channel.
Not going to come back now, is she? That's the issue.
Well, when you say come back, you mean come back to
into these celebrity circles.
Directly pointing out that when your overhead remains astronomical but your only business model is hunting for the next fast paycheck, you aren't an empire builder. You are simply trapped on a financial treadmill you can never get off. The final curtain has drawn on the billion-dollar dream. The royal family didn't need to lift a finger to dismantle the Sussex empire. They simply stepped back, focused on their duty, and allowed Meghan's chaotic business model to defeat itself. The A-list billionaires have permanently left the building. The streaming giants have closed their checkbooks, and the public is completely fatigued by the endless hustle. Meghan Markle wanted to prove to the world that she was a master of global commerce, but all she really accomplished was proving that true prestige cannot be bought, sold, or faked in a California mansion. The quick cash schemes have officially failed, the bills are still due, and the Montecito empire has completely run out of options.